Shots by photographer Jeff Perkell look unlit, just the way you'd see the rooms in life. But there's a lot of lighting behind each picture, and a lot of lighting hiding in each picture. Perkell conceals his art and his lights for every new shot.
I came into this project, I had been working for the art director on other things before. He called me in for a preliminary meeting with the art director and the building developer, Jeff Perkell, and they told me what they wanted, what the project was about, which was a building called the Promenade, a super luxury condominium. And it had great views and very, very big apartments. And that's what they wanted to stress. That's what they wanted the advertising to be about, and that's what they wanted the photographs to be about. Problem was, they had no building. It wasn't finished. In fact, it was barely started. So there was no place to shoot the views from and no rooms to shoot. So what were we going to do? Well, to shoot the views, we photographed from the building under construction. That way I had floor plans, and I went to the exact spot where you would be looking out the window. And with a panoramic camera, 6x17, which takes a negative or a slide 2 1/4 by 6 3/4, I took views from each apartment. I had a little list, apartment CD, well, shoot northeast, et cetera, et cetera. So then they took those pictures and blew them up into big slides, 6 feet tall, 18 feet wide. They took these slides and built them into the model apartment where the windows would be, built windows right around them. So you walk into that model apartment on the first floor, abutting a car garage, and you walk into this living room and someone flicks a switch, and there you go. There's your view. Maybe we'll want a spotlight for this sculpture to pick up some highlights, and maybe you'll set up another light. I don't know if we'll use it, but just in case we need it for a highlight off the couch. Now over here, we'll either use this or another plant. Let's get a light behind the plant, casting shadows towards the lens on the ceiling. The way you do one of these, the way I do one of these, is the first thing we want to do is set our camera angle. The art director and I picked the best angle of view that'll work for him, that'll work for, in this case, a 13 by 44 foot picture. So we set the camera angle, and everyone wanted to stress that these rooms were big, so I wanted to use the widest angle camera on a 4x5 format that I could. I also had in mind that I was only using a narrow strip of the film because of the billboard shape. Once we knew the feeling that we wanted with the lighting, of this luxuriant evening feel of light creeping from the windows and from the local areas, then I could start lighting it. Specifically, what I do is I determine, first I need some soft overall illumination just to get the quantity of light for the exposure. In this situation, I decided to use a bank light, and I decided to put it almost a complete side light, and there was a good little cranny in the living room where the balcony comes in, where I could put a large bank, 2,000 watt seconds, that would come sweeping across the room, and it would be a soft light, but it would be contrasty because it was coming in at an angle. I then had this great massive black piano against a white wall and a white rug, and it was highly reflective, like a curved mirror. So I knew I could put a light off camera, reflect it into the piano, and I would get this wonderful curved highlight. And that's exactly what we did. We put a light on the floor, which we later gelled blue, coming right into the side of the piano. We ultimately put a light inside the piano to light up the gold strings and the sounding board, so that would reflect on the open top of the piano, and we would get that. We hid a light behind a couch, so we lit the keyboard specially, we lit the floor under the piano. In the foreground, there was this large stretch. They have a parquet wood floor, there was a long stretch of that, and I wanted to get a feeling of a highlight off that parquet, so I hit another light pointing at the camera, so I get the white reflection off the shined parquet wood. We decided to rent a banana tree to put in the corner because they have really big leaves, and I knew I'd have this white ceiling area that I had to do something with, so if I hit a light on the floor pointing straight up, just a direct light like a flashlight, at those leaves, I'd get some shadows of the leaves on the ceiling. That would be kind of interesting. Then on the left side of the room, I had these white couches, which, if I didn't do anything to them, they'd kind of be just there. And so trying to get some separation, different tones off the white, I used spotlights kind of shooting across those couches just to pick up some shapes and define some spaces. I had a low coffee table, which kind of just sat there, and the art director thought it would be neat to put a light underneath that. And I knew I would make it look like kind of this light creeping out from underneath, and it would kind of open up that space, make it more interesting, create this kind of magical glow there. In place of the tungsten light bulb on the lamp, we used a little light bulb strobe there that works pretty good. There's several kinds of reasons why I like to use lots of lights. The first reason is that there's nothing like the human eyes and brain. The eyes and brain can register a contrast range. I don't know the exact amount, but many, many, many more times than the film can register. So if I photograph a scene that looks pretty okay to casual glance, on film there are going to be big areas that are flat, that will lack interest. It'll be too light, too dark, the sun coming in the window in the corner with the dark mahogany chest of drawers. You can't register all that on film. All right, Z-Ray, let's see the modeling lights. Get the one in the piano, good. Good. All right, and let's get the side lights and spots. Good. All right, fine.
The finished picture doesn't even hint of the elaborate lighting just out of sight, under the table, behind the plant, in the piano, and behind the wall.
The overall result was great. It was amazing, even though I was there the whole process, to see this finished billboard, which is spectacular in the twilight because it's backlit against the New York City skyline. And as if saying to the people coming by in their cars, you know, move in. And even though I was there, I did it, but just to see this compared to seeing the room, you think, boy, it looks great. So it was fun.